The Adventures of Bunny Joe has been brought to you by Powdered Milk Face. That's right, it's a face that's also milk and it's also powdered. Just add water and then you have yourself a friend to talk to on lonely nights. It's also been brought to you by Edible Pennies. Go down to your banker and exchange $1 made out of paper for 100 of those suckers. And you have yourself a good time snack for the movies. That's it. Enjoy the show.
This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 520 for the week of Monday, May 21st, 2018. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And my name is Alex.
And you thought we wouldn't be here this week. I wasn't sure either. But we're here. We're doing a podcast. But before we get into what we're doing this week, let me introduce our very special guests, including the animation director for Rick and Morty, Brian Newton's joining us this week. How's it going, Brian?
Hey, that's me. How's it going, guys?
Good. And you're also working, well, not just on 70 episodes of Rick and Morty all at once, I assume. That's how animation works, right?
Yeah, like next fall.
And you also have he is kidding everyone out there. I know the Rick and Morty fan community is probably taking that verbatim. He's also working on the Teen Titans Go movie and the Teen Titans Go television show, and I assume many other things.
Not the movie, just the show.
Just the show, not the movie.
Yeah, movie's almost coming out now.
Yeah, it'll be out in a couple of months.
Cool.
Yeah.
We also have our anime recap host and Anime News Network contributor. We have Sam Leach with us. How's it going, Sam?
So are Brian and I very special guests in Steven's place?
Yeah, I guess combined you equal one Stephen Paul.
It does take two of us to make equal a Steven.
Yeah. Actually, this is probably our first week in years that there is no Steve or Steven on this podcast. I think we should take note of that and then move on immediately. So there was supposed to be a manga chapter this week, and there wasn't, and we don't know why. We assume it has to do with Golden Week, probably, because, maybe...
Well, if you saw the chapter of My Hero Academia that appeared in Jump last week, might give you a clue.
Okay, do you want to explain that? I know what you're talking about, but just for those who haven't.
So, I mean, I don't know, it was essentially a storyboard version of My Hero Academia that appeared in Jump last week. Parts of it.
Fair.
It was a time crunch is what it sounds like, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Our artists are tired.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Golden Week, even though that week is, that week is off in Jump, the actual week that the authors would take off for those holidays is kind of moved over a little bit. So, I think, what are they? They're probably a couple weeks ahead. However many weeks Golden Week was, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I wonder if Oda's at the position in his career where, they would run a My Hero Academia chapter that looked like that. But they wouldn't do that for One Piece. So it just doesn't appear in the magazine.
I don't think Oda's pencils are clear enough to put in the magazine.
Based on what we've seen in the color walks, that's accurate.
I bet you that's on purpose too. Just so he's like, you know what? No, I don't have to worry about that. Look at my pencils. Yeah, I dare you to release this.
I don't think Oda would be okay with that. And even if he were, I think he does most of the pencil stuff, and I guess he does the pencil and the ink. We found that out recently. In that Joey Weiser-esque question. Anyway, so we'll hopefully be back next week with chapter 905 as we head into the Reverie material. But this week we're going to be doing an anime recap. Sam, what do we have in the anime this week?
That would be for episode 837, The Birth of Mom. The day that Carmel vanished. So we have Birth of Zoro, Birth of Morley, and now Birth of Mom.
Come in threes.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that sounds pretty terrifying. I have not yet seen this episode, but this is an episode I really want to see.
It's unpleasant. In a good way.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I forgot who mentioned recently, but the anime usually does a pretty damn good job with flashbacks in particular. It's really hard to mess up some that kind of material when it's animated. I still think they should have used the Sound of Silence in the Corazon Law flashback, but I understand that they didn't want to not ask for the rights for that. So whatever, it is what it
You
is.
got Bing Sake this week.
That what? That's pretty damn good there. So we're gonna go through that. We have some pieces together. Before we get started, there has been a decent amount of news, so we're gonna go through that right now. First, the Volume 89 cover was released. It features Katakuri versus Luffy in an epic sort of standoff in the mirror world. Since I don't know if you guys will be on when we go through it with Steven, Alex, I'll start with you. Do you have any thoughts on this cover?
Hubba hubba. I think it's a really beautiful looking cover. Really intense. I don't know how long it's been since we had a cover with just two characters on the cover. Maybe Luffy versus
Volume
Usopp.
44?
Yeah. I guess that was last time we saw them on a cover together was Frankie. No. Usopp and Luffy, but you said Frankie's on the cover, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Is it the Rocket Man is on that? No, that's the one after that. I don't know. I'll look.
Usopp cover's pretty busy, I think.
I have
Really?
I have that Viz Manga, app, so I'll look through those while you guys say your thoughts.
Yeah.
and
I
I'll
was
see if
I was looking at them before. The last one I think was 44. It was whatever one is Luffy and Oars.
And the
Oh, yeah.
Oars?
Yeah, it's just him. The both of them screaming. Yeah,
Oh wow.
I like that
Yeah.
cover. It's a minimalist kind of. You don't get that often.
Yeah, I guess it's sometimes less is more, but sometimes even less is the most. So,
And that's
Um,
volume 48, not 44.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But,
44 is NES Lobby.
but speaking to the cover's design, I think it's really cool that we get a like a cam view from his King Cobra punch or whatever that was that took out Katakuri.
Well, it's also great that it's like it's the same position as if it was a straight punch, but it goes all over the place. The
Yeah, it's
perspective
very
is the
cool.
same. It's very good.
Yeah, it really emphasizes how important that fight is too. I think,
Mhm.
not just to the arc, but to the series as a whole. Just because, hey, Luffy's fighting his first real rival.
Brian, do you have, or Sam? Brian, you go first.
I was just gonna say like Katakuri's like big arm in the foreground, like that. It just kind of like overcasts the whole thing and kind of makes it feel darker than I think it would otherwise.
The big spiky arm.
Yeah.
Brian, do you have thoughts?
Yeah, I generally like this cover, and I think I even posted on Twitter that all the covers since like Zoe to now have been really on point. And this kind of culminating that like larger Whole Cake Island arc.
Yeah, like these last couple of covers like make me really excited to just like own all this whole arc in like physical volume form, just to have those covers.
Yeah, it's been I haven't had a cover I really disliked in a little while. It's I think probably 79. I'm looking through these right now. Or 80, I'm sorry. It was the Dressrosa, the last Dressrosa one was kind of bizarre. We went through that in our color walk discussion.
These last two are like probably they're going to be up there in my overall favorites, I think.
By the way, there are so few covers with just two characters. Volume 3 has just Luffy and Zoro. Volume 7 has just Sanji and Luffy and also some sort of whalefish type creature.
It's the panda shark.
Panda shark, thank you. Wow, good memory. What else here? I think that's it until the one we mentioned before, because everything else has like millions of characters. And you're right, Frankie is on that cover with the Usopp and Luffy fight. Anyway, yeah, 48. I don't think there's anything else. Although I'm rushing through this, so I could be wrong. Anyway, there's also another big announcement. Episode of Sky Island is coming this summer. Sam, I feel like you have to start. I'm forcing you to
I'm
be the
looking
one to
forward
talk.
to it. Looks cool. This is the one I've been like asking for. Like when everyone's like, "Oh, what kind of movie remake do you want?" I want Skypiea because it's such a great like isolated story.
Yeah, I'll back that up because I always felt in the anime they did not do Sky Battle justice.
And I think there was also something in one of those stories about a character who couldn't have possibly been included back then being included in the story, and some people thought it was Yarouge. So that'd be interesting.
I think very likely.
Or maybe it's like the alternate version where Blackbeard followed Luffy up the knock-up stream.
Or maybe
I don't know if they would do it.
Yeah, I don't know if they would do that, but
yeah.
Or I was thinking Judge, because if they're going to talk about Nolan the Liar, like the story, and how he read it when he was in the North Blue, we might get a little bit of a flashy backy.
A what now?
A
Flashy backy. You know, it's like a flashback, but incredibly tiny.
Or is that a flashback within a flashback?
No, I would
start calling them that. Flashback.
I would call that a flashback.
That sounds like a Queen song. Anyway, so the special's going to come out on its normal channel. I hope Crunchyroll picks it up. They've been tending to, and as well as Funimation. It comes out Saturday, August 25th. 2100, I should know off the top of my head, is like 9 p.m., I think, right? Anyway, it's a 2-hour and 10-minute special, probably with commercials. That's Japan Standard Time from 2100 to 2310, which is 1110. That one I know. It's 1110. And it will be, the director is the same director as Adventure of Nebulandia. Did any of us see that?
No.
I definitely saw Heart of Gold because I bought it on Blu-ray.
Oh, God.
Nebulandia is the Foxy one, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Adil was nice enough to like compile all of the episode ofs and specials we've gotten. We had 2 in 2012 episode of Nami and Luffy, 1 in 13 episode of Mary. We had 3D2Y in 2014 episode of Sabo, and 15 in East Blue in 17. And plus they did the Adventure of Nebulandia. Wasn't there another adventure, or am I making that up?
It was like Adventure in the Ocean's Naval, but that was like special 1.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There were 3 regular TV specials before they started doing this. And I don't know and I guess we wouldn't call the Boss Luffy stuff TV specials either, because they're numbered episodes.
No, the first one wasn't. The first one was the 4th TV special.
Oh.
Yeah. So as a result, it actually, the first Boss Luffy episode has never been released on DVD. So.
Right. Man.
And speaking of released on DVD, I got my last, the final volume of One Piece season 9. Was that Voyage 5 or 6? I forget. But
5.
No announcements about any season 10 yet, although it was 6 months in between seasons 8 and 9. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Sometimes they take a little bit of a break, but please pick that up if you have not.
I mean, between season 7 and 8, it was like 5 weeks. So that one's not. I mean, so it's not predictable, really.
No. But if you haven't picked up the Funimation sets, please do so. Show that there is still a strong interest in getting the physical sets.
I think a couple of the more recent collections were announced for UK, which is still probably a couple years back on releases of the collection sets.
Yeah, they just released Collection 17, which is and 18, which
there's 2 more after that.
Marineford, I think. Yeah. I think we're up to 20. I don't know. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I'm not positive. Those are coming out in the UK on June 25th and August 20th, for those who are wondering. There's more information about all that on our website. There's one piece of merch news, though, and I mentioned this with the knowledge that this is going to sell out within usually around 2.5 seconds. Sume, who I'm definitely pronouncing incorrectly, releases these super high quality figures. If you have not seen one of these, when next time you go to a convention, they're usually there. Take a look at the very least. They're not normally selling them because they're sold out usually. They're very limited edition. In the past, we've had one for Zoro, the Usopp one, my personal favorite, Whitebeard, Robin, and Ace, and this time we're getting Law, and of course he's sitting, which is his favorite pose, holding a heart, who I'd assume belongs to Caesar. So Caesar, I guess, is technically part of this figure for Caesar fans. Yeah. The estimated release date, according to this, is 2020, but the pre-orders are I think, currently up. It's only going to be 1,800 pieces, and it costs a ton. This one costs $1,100.
Wow. Yeah, those are usually very expensive. All of those figures.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and it sucks they're so limited too. But from what I've seen picture-wise, they all look to be very high quality.
Yeah, they're usually top of the line. I did not realize it was that much. I think the Whitebeard one was only in the 500s, as I recall. But, there might be some deals out on the internet that are less than that. So I keep an eye out on that. It's 999 euros is the base price for those who are calculating their respective currency. Yeah, that'll do it. Why don't we get into the anime recap? Sam, are you ready?
Ready. This is the anime recap for episode 837, The Birth of Mom, the day that Carmel vanished. I'm your host Sam, and today with me we have our good friend Ed.
Hello.
And joining us today as well is director for Rick and Morty and Teen Titans Go, Brian Newton.
Hello.
Hey.
It's good to have a different perspective on the anime recap this week.
Right. It's just us two for a while, so it's nice to mix it up.
Once a month we'll get someone different on here.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this particular episode to get animated since the manga, so I'm like, yay, finally, I can talk about what I perceived how this anime was going to go.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, the title card begins at 3 minutes and 57 seconds. We return where we left off last week, where little baby Charlotte Linlin is destroying the giant village in one of the giant chiefs, Yorl. He's ready to strike her with her sword, but Linlin just grabs him by the beard and just chucks him over her shoulder.
Even before that, she breaks the sword mid-swing.
Yeah. She just
with her fist. Yeah, and then she slams him on top of his head, surely killing him. Yeah. Although he does live for a couple more minutes.
Yeah, he's coughing up blood. He's not looking good.
Yep. But yeah, he is. They go to his funeral later in the episode. So
yeah, Mother Carmel is monologuing to herself. What has she done? But still, she's a good girl. And knowing what we know about Carmel later, it's kind of weird that she's saying that.
No, actually, it makes perfect sense.
No, it makes perfect sense because the giants are indebted to her. They can't really.
Well, she's just speaking. She's just thinking to herself right now. But
was she?
Yeah. But anyway,
she's good. She's good for business.
Yeah, she's that's the implication.
I think that's
why
what they're
she's
going
a good
for.
Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Mother Carmel's Geburtstag, which is I think German for birthday.
That's right.
And the flames are going crazy. There's just a straight up Super Saiyan power up sound effect.
Yeah, I noticed that. Or was that when? No, there was a different noise I noticed when she was making the first flame being.
I think that's what we're talking about.
Is that the same one? Okay. Yeah, because I definitely recognize that. Actually, I thought I recognized it from the video game Doom I used to play. Doom. When the fires appear.
So yeah, she's kind of speaking to the flames, I'll give you a voice, just obey me. And there's a big face in the fire. The one of the woman giants is running out with a big box of semla because that's the only way they're going to calm Linlin down. So Carmel turns the fire. She creates it into this little tiny sun that she names Pandora.
After he extinguishes the fire, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we have a sign that Mother Carmel, the original user of the Soul fruit.
And which you can see this from a mile away of how would Charlotte Linlin get this power now? Oof.
Yeah, you know that at least somebody gonna die.
Yeah.
So there's Jarl, the other giant chief. He's got his sword over Linlin, who's kind of in a food coma. And he's about to stab her. Carmel gets in the way. She stops him. She's given her big spiel of like forgiveness and like asking, "Oh, if you spare us, will you at least like let us just move to another island and never bother you guys again?" Hyruden.
I would like to call this scene Hyruden was right. And this is only going to make his devotion to Luffy even greater as a member of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet.
Yeah, Hyruden is. He's a kid and he's yelling. He's like, "No, kill her! Don't stop!" And
although I found out recently he's 18 in this scene, so it's like I guess because giants live like
18 in giants years,
yeah, 3 times as long basically. Because whatever Yorl was like 347.
Mm-hmm. And Jarl, he can't do it. He's like with tears in his eyes. He puts the sword in the ground. And he's just like, just go, just get out of my sight.
It's a very tense episode all over. Like even though I know what happens, but it's when he stabs that thing into the ground, it's very moving.
Mm-hmm. We come to the next day where they've made the grave for Yorl, and Linlin is looking up at it like, "Oh, where did he go?" And they're telling her he died, and she doesn't understand why he's dead, but she says, "I feel sorry for him."
They're like, she remembers nothing. And so basically, they exile her from the island because what else can you really do? And Hyruden watches the ship as it leaves, which is again Hyruden's special.
Yeah. So the giants are, however, still nice enough to build Carmel and a new house, a new like orphanage house for them to live in on this new island. But they're even like mentioning like, we're building this house for you, but like we don't actually like want to see Linlin face to face.
Right. And they like spread the word to other giant islands. This is how she becomes the enemy of all giants, basically.
Yeah. That and what happens in the next episode. But
I mean, although I'm curious, I always sort of forget like where this island is in respect to like, was this an uninhabited island? Clearly not.
I mean, this is the island where everyone's like theorizing this becomes Toto Land, right?
I can see it because
of the Whole Cake Island specifically.
Yeah. But I don't think we ever got confirmation of that.
No, that seems like an SBS question for sure.
Yeah. And so the narrator is kind of leading us through this. To relieve the children's growing concerns, Carmel tried to smile even more. And before we know it, the kids they've settled in. They're playing along like nothing's happened. Carmel is off to get quote unquote groceries. Do you guys need anything? And they're like, yeah, get me a pack of cigarettes, please.
It's
like, I'm going to go get my smokes.
Yeah. But really, she's going to a world government ship where she's got this evil smile, and she's like, yes, I've got a good girl for you.
Yeah. CP0.
Yeah. Yeah, I this is kind of where I'm like, kind of wish they gave Carmel like a raspier voice, because she really should have that like old witch woman kind of thing going.
Oh, I fully agreed. I was kind of like surprised by that, hearing her old lady voice in the previous episode.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with Big Mom herself. Her voice doesn't have that kind of age that you expect it to, compared to her new dub voice. I don't know if you guys have heard it yet, but it's really
I have
cool
the set.
and, like,
I have
raspy.
not listened. Yeah, I have not listened to the last Fishman Island set yet.
Yeah, the dub Big Mom is really good. So yeah, this is where the eye catcher is. She's talking to the Navy people. She's saying, "Oh, in the Navy, this girl, Linlin, in the Navy, she would become a vice admiral or a fleet admiral. In Cipher Pole, she'd be the toughest shield for the Celestial Dragons. It takes a lot of work to act as a holy mother." And
so it really goes to the point that like her entire thing at that like execution, that was a sham. She's a government agent.
Yep.
Like, she infiltrated Elbaf based on saving the lives of those giants that they probably weren't going to kill in the first place, and now John Giant's a Navy Vice Admiral. Like, how do you think that?
And the whole giant squad, too. We can assume they all came from Big Mom.
Although, maybe
not Big Mom. Marla Carmel.
Right, but I mean, there might not be that many of them yet, but they're probably, like, in training at this point.
Well, yeah, what I assumed is, like, she was basically, they even mentioned she was the connection between Elbaf and the naval recruits. Maybe even, like, Jaguar de Sol. He's not from Elbaf, but he's a giant.
Right, right, yeah.
I forgot he wasn't from Elbaf. Forgot there's multiple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mother Carmel, child slave trafficker, and she's got a big score that she wants to settle.
She would be the toughest shield for the Celestial Dragons. Is interesting verbiage, because we're not talking necessarily about the Marines. We're talking about the government.
Right.
Kind of
whatever the government needs her for.
Right.
And Carmel thinks she's worth so much because she's so powerful that this will be like her last sale. You know, if she can sell Linlin to the government, she's out of the business. And
they were haggling over
one last job. It's one last job.
Her underworld name is Mountain Hag. And she's like,
I also.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say that I also like to point out that previous scenes with Mother Caramel, she's usually holding her cigarette in her right hand. But I notice even in the manga, too, she switches to her left when she's revealed herself as the Mountain Hand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we kind of cut ahead. I don't think that a deal has been made, or maybe a deal has been made, but Caramel's going to be like waiting on the money to get delivered.
Well, that's why it's her last gig, so she wants to get paid in full, and then she's done. But like, I guess even the government didn't bring enough money with them. So
right. So she's asking, "All right, kids, what song do you want to sing today?" And they bring up Bink's Brew, Bink's Sake, which we all know is the famous pirate shanty. And she's like, "All right, have fun, kids." And the kids all start singing Bink's Brew. It's just like, you know, the song just makes you feel, right?
No, it's also interesting about this specific the orphan kid singing this song is that's what the Rumba Pirates used to do, is sing for kids.
Yeah, and it's also a thing of where she says it's a pirate song, and then she thinks to herself, "I'm not giving you to pirates."
Right? Yeah.
Like, you're all going to the government.
God, I love just like the sort of the contrast between like how kind of scummy Mother Caramel is and like the happy music. Like they really get a lot out of that. Like the smile as she's like, "I'm gonna sell you guys to the government, you little shits." There's this one shot where the kids are all sleeping and it's like panning over and Mother Caramel's just got this like it's this kind of weird Oda face where it's like it's very kind of, there's something kind of weird and jarring about it. Like her eyes are kind of arched upward. She's like squinting and like really smiling, like really looking evil. And it's the kind of thing that the anime doesn't always like really click with when they really want to kind of get those kind of expressions. And really, because it's just like something that just feels something, there's something incongruous about it that just like really gets under your skin. And that really, you really feel that here. Like just the montage of Bink's Brew, it just really, really goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. But when part of that is them like working on like a recipe, and you don't really know what it is until they unveil the birthday party.
Yep. So Linlin is coming out the door. I like the touch that Linlin's coming out of this big door, but there's like a smaller door within the door that you can kind of see where like the small
for the kids. Yeah.
So the kids, it's Linlin's 6th birthday, and the kids have prepared croquembouche. So all the kids seem to be kind of getting along with each other now. Linlin is crying of happiness. This is another touch that I like is the tone of the narrator. Like it's not his normal tone. Like this narrator knows the irony, where he's like, "That was the day Linlin had the happiest birthday ever in her life. The special friends at the House of Lambs who had similar backgrounds, the open-minded and generous mother that she loved." Like it really just goes on. So yeah, she's eating her croquembouche. She can't hold back the tears. And something seems to be going on because she's eating the croquembouche, and then after a certain point, the things that the kids are saying don't sound quite right. Like they sound a little too like, this is how Linlin imagines. This is what she imagines they would say. This is how she imagines that they see her as like this friend who they'll do anything for.
Clearly. And the last one who speaks
we'll be
is
together forever.
Yeah, we'll be together.
Carmel's the last one who speaks too.
Yeah, and
you also noticed during the sequence, every time a child or a couple of children say something, we see Linlin stuck a couple of the Simlon croquembouches in her mouth. Like as a person speaks, take a bite. As another person speaks, take another bite.
Yep.
Never heard from again.
So yeah, eventually she kind of wakes up from her stupor. She kind of another food coma, and everyone's just gone for some reason, and like the camera's kind of panning around. We see Mother Caramel's like her getup, her clothes sort of a little torn, but sort of hanging about. None of the kids around. She's alone. She's looking around. Where are you guys? Where are you guys? Oh, and during the eating scene, I like how they use a We Are instrumental song.
Oh.
But yeah, and then this scene has Mother Sea, which is like a really classic song that they have not used in forever, I don't think.
Huh.
But yeah, like
and they turn into hearts and float up to heaven.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's looking around. She's like, "Where are you guys?" And then like they'll be like, one of the kids will be like hanging on her arm, like, "I'm right here, Lin Lin." She's like, "Oh, you silly!" And then they vanish because they're not really there.
Infinity War style.
Yeah, yeah. And so Lin Lin's alone. The sun is setting. She's crying, "Mother, why'd you disappear all of a sudden?" And so we come back to the present. And we're hearing Lin Lin's voice, Big Mom's voice, and I love this. This is another just touch. There's so many little directorial touches that are really good, like stuff that I don't normally think to like point these things out as much with the show, but like this touch where we come to the present, we hear Big Mom's voice, like, "Mother, where did you disappear all of a sudden?" And you can't quite tell if it's supposed to be her. It's like young Lin Lin voice or if it's like adult Big Mom voice. Mommy Koyama is like really kind of meshing the two, and then when we are like looking head on to Big Mom in the present, that's when we hear what her like modern day screaming actually sounds like, and it's like this guttural roar, like, "Where did you go?"
And she's like slurring. She's like doing like the words are slurring, and she's more than usual, and she's just a mess. And like the sense of dread and foreboding throughout this episode was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I was engaged all the way through. The colors were beautiful. The direction, as you said, is great. One Piece anime doesn't get much better than this these days.
Yeah, I really, really appreciated this episode. Like last week, I thought was a little. It was just kind of a really basic adaptation. But
there was the strength of the material was very sort of foreboding, but there wasn't. The anime didn't necessarily add.
Right.
This week, it very much did. So they can turn it up when they need to.
Yeah, and it's like they're not even doing that much different. Like it's still that kind of like, oh, here's this like really colorful, cheerful world, or like here are these kids, and it's like this fun, friendly thing, and obviously that's in contrast to like the material. But like it just felt like very kind of basic last week, and here it feels very deliberate.
Well, with the two episodes kind of like played in back to back, it really evolves from this like Grimm's fairy tale, which is kind of a cautionary tale.
Right.
Because like you have Lin Lin who's dropped off and abandoned at the beginning of this, and then Lin Lin being abandoned at the end of this.
Yeah.
Bookends very nicely.
God, what a good flashback this is.
People really should watch One Piece 2 episodes at a time, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I
just want to say, in the next episode, she's dressed like, the children's books, Madeline, with like the hat and there's her getup in the next episode preview.
That's one of my favorite images of Big Mom in that getup, that one pose.
Her dainty outfit.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say?
I think one thing I was looking forward to, like the We Are touch during the Lin Lin's birthday scene was cool, but I just wish they missed an opportunity to use an instrumental version of Big Mom's theme that we first heard about the tea party, because this is such a classic fairy tale moment of just
and actually that's one thing this is where she learns what a tea party is.
Yeah. So it's like really bookends that sense of like, oh, it's a tea party, which is supposed to be a happy time, but it's not happy for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. I really had a good time.
Very enjoyable. Yes, very good.
Anything else you guys want to say?
No, that's it.
All right.
Yep,
I think we can move on.
satisfied.
I think we can move on to the next segment. Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, so we have a mini announcement, I guess, that we all wanted to announce here. We're going to be re-releasing the One Piece read-through, also known as the Great One Piece read-through, that we did back in 2015, but it's very, very relevant to whatever your One Piece needs are today. So I have the whole crew here with me to kind of go through. You were all on an episode of the One Piece read-through at some point in the past, right?
At least one.
I missed one as well. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sam and Brian, you guys were around when we were doing that, right? Things blur together for me.
For which ones?
Any of them. You were in Skypiea,
was-
Sam, right?
I was on the Skypiea one.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Brian.
and I thought Brian was on Fishman Island.
Yeah, Brian was on Fishman Island.
Yeah, because I believe I was on that one as well.
Yeah. So we're gonna be
And Whiskey Peak, I think.
We're going to be trying to release those every Friday this summer. There are 15 of those episodes. We go through Dressrosa. And you know what? Alex mentioned it. We should probably update it with some of the more recent arcs as well. It's only appropriate, I think, if we're re-releasing the One Piece read-through. So...
Not Whole Cake Island, as we've said. We won't do that until 2020.
But we'll probably do a new release for Dressrosa. I'm not going to, hold ourselves to that, but probably. And we're going to do one, I think, for Zoe.
Definitely that one.
Okay, so definitely that one. Those will probably come out in around September or October, because 15 weeks from now is actually around that time, or 15 weeks from when we start releasing them. So look forward to those soon. If you're surprised to see something on your feed on Fridays. And these are a great entryway for new listeners who have not, really read very much of One Piece and need an entryway into it. And so that's one of the main reasons why we're re-releasing these. Is it's a perfect stepping stone if people want to listen to our podcast but aren't caught up. And we have a lot of other cool stuff coming down the pipeline, so that's just our very first announcement that we have for you. We'll have many more to come. So let's get back into the show.
All right.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, and theories even when Oda doesn't feel like releasing a chapter.
I don't think feel has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I'm giving him too much shit for it. It's fine. Let's start with emails. First one comes from Liam Tasker. After giving them a Vivre card that leads straight to her mother, how do you think Lola will react to the newspaper saying the Straw Hats attempted to assassinate Big Mom?
I mean, I think Lola has a pretty good memory of what happened to her. So
yeah, but she thinks she's in good graces with Big Mom.
Right.
Is she?
Yeah.
She thinks that.
Like one of the things that they really should have cleared up at some point by now.
Well, that might be coming up soon. I mean, I guess.
I really hope.
We might get news on that because her twin sister is married to Gang, and he was also mentioned in
the newspaper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one comes from Martin. Very important question from Martin here. What is every Straw Hat's favorite kind of bagel and topping?
Zach, I think you're the most qualified to answer this.
Okay. So name the character and I'll try and name the bagel.
Okay, Luffy.
Everything, definitely, and everything.
All right.
There's not like too many types of bagels. Oh, what would he have on it? Is it roast beef? He would have roast beef up to the wazoo, just like beef.
Great, Zoro.
Zoro.
He'd probably he'd have some sort of rice, probably.
What?
I don't know, Ed. Can Zach order this at a deli in his city of residence?
Actually, that's Law who doesn't like the breads.
Yeah, I don't think Zoro's ever expressed. For some reason, poppy seed kind of comes to mind. Maybe
green tea bagel.
That doesn't. Even in some of the crazy bagel shops I've been to, I don't think they'll have maybe that cream cheese flavor. They have like a cream cheese flavor for everything.
Poppy seed with green tea cream cheese.
That sounds weird. And I like all of those things, but not together.
Nami.
Well, obviously, some citrus themed. Well, she might even like
the most expensive bagel.
She'd like the most
golden bagel.
Oh, well, that is easy. Cheese. No, she'd like probably an egg bagel with fresh lox because those are freaking expensive but delicious. With lemon caviar. Or some sort of with caviar and citrusy like overtones to it because of the tangerine thing. Yeah, I think that would work well. I don't know about the actual bagel. I just picked a bagel I like. But
Hold on.
those
I
are the
think what's
fillings.
funny is that like Ed's suggestion is a bagel that would never possibly exist in this world, and you're just like, no, Ed.
No, it has to exist. This is a
currently
serious
existing
question.
Bagel. Usopp is next.
Ed,
And
why don't
might
you
I-
answer?
Usopp.
What were you gonna say, Alex? Sorry.
Well, I was gonna suggest that what he has on it is smoked trout, because that's like his favorite food, right?
Is it? Yeah, I mean that sounds like a perfectly reasonable thing to put on a
He-
bagel.
I mean, he could put lake trout on his bagel because it's not lake, it's no trout. So
There it is. Although I don't know if you can come to Baltimore and get a lake trout bagel. I think you have to make 2 separate stops for that.
I feel like
Probably.
he'd have a salt bagel, and he'd order it and not realize. For anyone who's had a salt bagel, it is way too salty. There is no such thing as a salt bagel that has the right amount of salt. It's like it will make you will tear up. It's like the Tata Tabasco sauce of salt. So that's why I see what's up with that.
Great. All right, Zach,
yeah.
we have a couple more. We have Sanji's next.
Sanji would obviously have a gourmet sort of bagel. What is Sanji's favorite foods? Like this, we should have probably been prepped with like, what do they actually enjoy eating?
I don't know. I think Sanji kind of likes everything, doesn't he? He can cook everything, so we don't really know what he likes the most.
No, there's an official SBS
Yeah, there is.
answer for this. I remember all of them actually, except for Sanji, because he packs them all in the
Here,
lunchbox.
I'm looking it up. Let's see if Google could. Oh, he likes spicy seafood pasta and stuff that goes with black tea. His favorite food is cognac. Is that true? I'm just reading One Piece wiki here.
So he likes drinking his dinner?
I guess.
Liquid lunch.
So obviously he's having a mimosa with this brunch.
Great.
Or
Let's just
Bloody
say
Mary.
Oh, there you go. A Bloody Mary with a fucking bagel on top.
Yeah, like he dips his bagel into the Bloody Mary or something.
Oh no, I'm referring to the fact that like when you order a Bloody Mary, they put all sorts of shit on top now instead of just the celery. You can get like sliders and a chicken wing on your fucking margarita.
Not
Bloody Mary.
here.
Bloody
Have you-
Mary.
Yeah, have you
God.
seen this? It's ridiculous. Like
No.
you can get whole meals on a Bloody Mary.
I haven't gotten drunk in ages.
Yeah, me neither. I'm on the diet at the moment.
Too old.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I'm old.
right.
I'm both. Yeah,
Saving it for your wedding, huh?
I'm
Smart.
going to get drunk off of maybe half a beer.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna make sure that you do well.
I don't like the sound of that. Go ahead.
Robin, no, Chopper's next. Chopper is the next one.
Obviously, he'd
Candy
get what
bagel.
Steve and me would usually get when we go get bagels, and he'd get a cinnamon
sugar
raisin,
raisin?
a cinnamon raisin bagel with strawberry or blueberry cream cheese, which
Yum.
is insanely sweet and also really good, but it is insanely sweet.
This sounds like the most accurate one so far. Robin,
Plain bagel. No,
Yeah.
probably a plain
Plain-
bagel with.
It's 700-year-old cream cheese.
I'm a 700-year-old vegetable cream cheese.
oh, there we
Yeah,
go. She's a
yeah.
veggie lover.
Yeah.
Frankie's next.
He'd have to.
You'd
Have
probably
an
get a hamburger bagel with a burger on it.
That's
All
more
right,
of
Zach.
what Luffy's getting. I mean, I like that he would go into a bagel store and say, "I want a burger on that." I see him. Whatever the special is that day, he would definitely order. If there's like
Yeah.
some crazy cream cheese, without knowing what it is, he would get that. It's something scantily clad as well. I don't know. I can't think of a good one.
I like the idea of the special. Like it depends on the day
Yeah,
of the week. The weekly special.
It's a little bit of a cop out. I can't
the
believe how
bagel
long we're
that's-
spending on this question.
It's the bagel that's the most super this week. Brooke. No man, we're committed. We have 2 more straw hats to go.
Brooke has what they call a dry plain bagel. There's
There you
nothing on
go.
it.
That was easy.
Yeah,
and
It's the Elwood Blues of the Straw Hat Crew.
yeah.
and Jinbei.
Jinbei has to have, I would assume, some sort of fish as well, lox or something.
Yeah, lox and some
And the most practical bagel, sesame seed.
Great.
I don't know.
Now,
this.
now for the lightning.
It's not that for people who have diverticulitis, Zach.
It's not. What? Okay.
All right, that does it, right?
Yeah, let's please move on.
Done diverticulitis.
As we always do, Andrew has our next question. He called in with us a couple weeks ago. One of his, I didn't get a call in, so that's weird. But one of his students started watching One Piece and recommended, on my recommendation recently, he later told me that he wasn't really into the show and asked how long he should continue to give it a chance. I know this is not a question any of us have had to deal with, but at what point can someone decide that One Piece is not for them? Where's the, if you're not into it by this point, then you probably won't ever be?
Arlong, definitely.
Alex, when do you think?
Yeah, Arlong, easy.
Sam?
That's the you're gonna love it point. So it might as well be the it's probably for you point.
I started to go back earlier when I looked back at it a few months ago, but the Zoro fighting Mihawk. I mean, that's not exactly what I mean, but that's really the first point, I think, that you could really love One Piece.
Sam, do you have an opinion?
Enies Lobby.
Whoa, Jesus.
So for me, Zoe. Just get them to
Wow,
read
no.
the whole thing, and then you're like, if you don't like it by the very end.
Well, that's the thing. It's not going to entice people to read it though, because if it's so far ahead, they're like, you mean I have to wait like this many volumes to see if I'm going to like this? I don't know. I feel like because Arlong is the first real like meaty story arc. You could argue that Baratier is the first meaty one, but it's the first one that makes you like really, really be impressed with the series.
I mean, I would agree. Arlong, Logtown, that period definitely. But I mean, if even by that point, you know, I'd give like one more hurdle, and that would be Drum Island. I feel like if you really don't like Drum Island, there's really no hope in you liking One Piece. Like Arlong, I don't know.
For me, it's like, because it's kind of tricky because I think the series is generally really good at having something like really kind of new each arc that could hook a different kind of person. Like Alabasta is like the first epic arc. Like if you want an epic show where you kind of feel like you're going through a journey by the end of the arc and you come out the other end feeling like you really went through something, that's what the later arcs do. So
Yeah, but I think Arlong kind of represents a strong like culmination of like
True.
everything you can expect to see in the story. So, and it's also fair. Like within the first 100 chapters, I wouldn't expect anyone to stick around with it for a series longer than that if they're not really digging it.
Yeah, I agree. Also, Alabasta I would consider like a great bonus if you're into the series. Like the dessert. It goes on. It like takes a while for it to get set up, but the payoff is really great, and the setup is really fun too. But if you don't like One Piece, then I'm not sure how much fun you'll have, you know, getting there.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what is next here? That might be it. Yeah, why don't we move on to Reddit? Do you have that, Alex?
I do, yeah. Hi, it's me, Alex. I'll be taking Steven's place this week for Reddit, and we only have 3. So we're pretty light on Reddit this week. And from Be My Friends 49, who asks, do you think there will be a flashback when we reach Wano to show us what happened to the Zoro group, like what happened at the beginning of Zo? Or do you think the group is just chilling and waiting for Luffy's group?
I don't know if they're going to show anything of them on a boat, but I think, you know, what they've been doing on Wano since they got there. Although Oda might make the choice to join them in mid-plot and then flash back to it at a certain point later, that's something he also does.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I was leaning, actually.
Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah, I feel like at this point Zoro and his group have already kind of gotten busy there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, yeah.
My idea was kind of like maybe there's, because if Wano is like a multi-island country, like a lot of the recent places have been, like maybe there's like a chill island that are safe for like the Kozuki people, and that's where they've been waiting or something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, next question then.
Arcanao writes, first of all, thank you for all the content you provide. Always looking forward to the new episode as it makes my outdoor working day so much better. My question is, where do you think Vegapunk's loyalty lies, and ultimately, is he a good guy or a bad guy? I feel like Caesar Clown is a bad guy, but I think his loyalty lies with whoever provides him the means to do science stuff.
It's so curious about Dr. Vegapunk because we know basically nothing about him. Like, next to nothing about him. It's hard to say. I feel like it's whoever's going to let him be free to do his science. That would be the most likely, I think. But also, like, is there another option besides the government for him if that's what he wants?
Yeah,
maybe working for an emperor, but they're always being, they're still being hassled by the government.
I do feel like that he will share that trait with Caesar. Wherever I can get funding, and it seems like the world government can give him the most funding without it disrupting his work. So, I don't know. We don't really know anything about Vegapunk at this point, other than the fact that he exists.
And that he's always in the newspaper.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I would add to this question where do you think Caesar Clown is now thing popped into my head. He's
below deck.
Either that, or I'd love for him to just completely by accident end up in Wano. Like when everyone else gets there, and just like
I really hope that's the case. He continues all the way to Raft Tail.
Yeah, like he somehow commandeers a boat. He somehow makes it. He makes it out of Big Mom's territory, and then he's back with the Straw Hats. Anyway, yeah. Next question.
All right, last question. Liquid Gaimon asks, "Who's the best U.S. president? Who's the best member of NWA? Who'd win in a fight?" Well, my answer, of course, would be Taft, Ice Cube, and Ice Cube would definitely win by tricking Taft into a bathtub, subduing him.
Franklin Roosevelt and Dr. Dre, and that's one's in a wheelchair, so and much older, so it's not going to be much of a fight.
Yeah, Dr. Dre and Theodore Roosevelt.
Actually, if you want to say Abraham Lincoln and Eazy-E, I think Lincoln could take E because E was tiny and Lincoln was a champion wrestler.
Well, the thing is, also it's them in their prime on both sides, right?
Is it?
I assume.
Well, then maybe Teddy Roosevelt.
Because Taft is dead and Theodore Roosevelt is dead. So
true.
They would
He didn't
lose.
say living presidents.
He didn't say living presidents. He said who's the best U.S. president. I'm a big Theodore Roosevelt fan. Obviously they all have their terrible, terrible flaws. But yeah.
I mean, technically Coolidge is my favorite because his first name is Calvin, but
that is the worst reason.
You've literally picked one of the least notable presidents since 1900.
That's right. You pick a notable president, so when you name drop him, nobody questions it.
He was born in Vermont.
We did discuss Chester A. Arthur last week, so I defended Chester A. Arthur last week.
I only defend his facial hair. That's the only thing I'll defend Chester A. Arthur for.
No. Do you know who the best U.S. president is? It's whoever always sends us piece-togethers.
Oh, Millard Fillmore.
Yes.
That's right.
The thing is, he was a terrible president. No offense, Millard Fillmore. I mean, I'm glad you're a One Piece podcast fan, but you were a terrible president.
Hey, no one beats my boy Andrew Jackson. He loved everybody.
Brian, that impression is oddly good.
I've been getting really good at that. It's called Know Your Enemies.
What, the land of the free?
Yeah, so I think Theodore Roosevelt really would be able to hold his own in a fight generally.
Well, yeah, he punched a bear, right? That's the thing he did in real life.
He survived getting shot.
It's because he had a fucking giant speech stuffed in his breast.
Yeah, he got shot. It hit his speech, which slowed the bullet, but he finished the speech and was fine after. I mean, he eventually died, but not because of that.
I love how we're talking about the toughness of the U.S. presence as opposed to the toughness of
the
NWA.
NWA. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah, basically.
like we don't need to talk about NWA because it's already known.
Self-explanatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
People think that U.S. presidents are all wimps, and we all know that the only wimp was Woodrow Wilson. So are there any...
And 41.
Pierce was a huge wimp.
The wimp president.
And 41. Yeah. Well, Franklin Pierce went through a lot of shit, so I guess that's why.
That does it for Reddit, by the way. That's it.
That's it for Reddit. More president questions next week on Reddit. Probably from Millard Fillmore. But it's time to, Ed.
Peace the Tweezer's.
Yeah.
Your voice cracked on that one.
I've been
He's been going through some stuff.
I've been muting to cough. I've been
What do you
dealing with it
mean?
the last couple of days. Anyway, first one comes from John Botone, who says, "Did the English dub of the Fishman Island arc feel rushed?" I mean, I haven't watched the last 3 volumes of it. I've been watching so much other stuff, but I'm gonna get through it now that I've all got the. It's hard for me to watch because there are parts of it that I do like, but from what I remember of it, it didn't seem any better or worse than other dub arcs. But I don't know. It's not material that I enjoyed in the anime in the first place. Although it's material that I enjoyed upon revisiting in the manga. I'm not sure. Like, the Fishman Island anime had unique problems apart from the issues inherent in the narrative.
Yeah, super pacing issues.
Yeah. And I'm like, it makes me scared, like, how well is the Funimation release doing? Because these are notoriously not the best anime episodes.
Is there anything after this that is, like, consistently great? Like,
in the anime? Zoe.
Punk
That's
Hazard
pretty good.
was-
Zoe's good.
I think Hazard was fine.
Punk Hazard's fine, yeah.
Punk Hazard had like I got real bored with the anime and Punk Hazard when it was first airing.
I'm gonna trust Sam on his takes here. Yeah.
I actually remember liking most of the anime for Dressrosa, honestly.
Dressrosa had like a kind of back and forth thing. There were like parts that were really good and parts that were not.
I mean, that's the reality. Is that's how the whole show works.
It's like they shouldn't even release the anime as it is, because all this stuff is in HD and it's all in 16:9. They can just cut it together. Like, they should just cut it up and release it that way.
There's a reason that Maddie's picture of the Thundercats mashup with One Piece appeals to me so much, and that's just the idea of having like a really condensed version of One Piece in a really cartoony way. Super up for like a different take on a One Piece anime. Sounds super cool, but we're gonna get the live action version, and I don't know. There's a part of me that would rather just have like a crazy off the wall One Piece television show, animated show. Because why not? Okay, sorry, I went on a tangent.
Next question comes from Sniper of My Heart, who says, "How does Zach feel about getting to see Satori in HD with episode of Skypiea?"
Getting to see Satori? Fine. Getting to hear Satori? I'm leaving the room. What about Hatori and Batori and Datori? Oh, I forget.
No, Hotori and Kotori, they should be cut out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They probably won't be in it.
Yeah. Okay, next one comes
maybe
from
Satori will be cut.
Maybe.
But the thing is, I love Godot. I love all of the other ones. The only one I don't like is Satori, I think.
I hope they extend his role.
I hope they more. Thank you, Brian.
I hope there's more of Om and the dog.
Yeah, Holy.
Yes.
I want
Holy the dog's amazing.
I'd watch a spin-off of Om, Holy, and Gadatsu. I'm cool with that. And what was the other one? Wasn't there a
Shura with the Firebird?
Oh, yeah, he's pretty cool, I guess. You know,
the big
I have no
lance.
complaints. Yeah, for a bad guy, he's cool. Yeah, Holy though. That's my dog right there. Besides my dog sitting right next to me.
Next one comes from Microwavy, who says, "What kind of aesthetics or influences that Oda hasn't touched on would you like for one last island detour if we could ever get one?" One thing I love is how each island has its own theme or inspiration, like in the landscape, culture, and people. It can be a mishmash, like Whole Cake Island. What do you guys think?
Space.
So wait, no. Yeah, exactly. Space Moon Arc.
You gotta say it like Tim Curry, though. Space.
I thought we were going to do a pigs in space reference.
Well, I guess
Command and Conquer, so
we have to think of every. Okay, so what genres has Oda not done? or like settings?
Um,
We have to think in the reverse way.
Domestic drama.
my God, no, please.
Like like the
You
like
mean a
Dragon
family
is
drama?
yeah, but like it's like Dragon sitting at the dinner table and he just flips the table.
We just had that with Sanji
That's
and
true.
Shurima. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that's done.
I was just thinking of the you remember that thing we saw at Magfest? Was that with you, Alex, where we did the table flipping game?
Yeah, the table flip
It's-
arcade game.
Yeah, that just reminds me of like there should be a One Piece arc where it's all just a serious family drama and someone flips a table.
That sounds more
Well,
like an
finally-
omake.
Oh no, probably yeah.
We're finally getting medieval samurai drama, so kind of like that period. We haven't really done
Oh.
cowboys either.
Oh yeah, we haven't done.
Oh yeah,
Cowboys.
that's right. We need a
Or-
cowboy.
Or an actual future, like a futuristic world based on like modern city or something.
Yeah,
Vegapunk.
Midwest
That's a big
Americana.
Oh, if anything, it should be like Futurama.
I
Well, space. That'd be space.
or even like a
Kinda.
kind of current day kind of locale.
God, the real world.
Yeah, we
Like,
had
like-
the commercial for the video game. Which one was that? Where it has Luffy, Crocodile, and Ruff.
Yeah, the burning blood
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah, that's a great commercial, by the way. YouTube it
Pretty
if
good.
you have not. It's fun. I like it.
All right. Next one comes from Dark Leviathan.
Wait,
It says-
are you skipping over Jeff's? Viz's very own Jeff's.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I went right over that because I was scrolling past a GIF.
That was my GIF.
Well, yeah, but you were calling it a piece of tweet, so I'm not going to read it. Except
How
I had to now.
Dare you? No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Jeff, friend of the podcast, was he mobile programmer for Viz? He says, if each Straw Hat had their own podcast, what would they be about, and or what would they be named?
All right, so let's do the thing. I guess we're doing one of the cream cheeses again. So I'll name the character here. Luffy. Anyone?
Cast.
The what?
The meat cast.
That
Here's
sounds
the thing.
disgusting.
I don't think Luffy would have the attention span to have a podcast every week. Either that, or it'd be like one of those 5-minute podcasts that's just recording all the just a conversation that he says or something like that. It would barely be a podcast.
He would.
According to
front load
Oda,
it.
you can. Yeah, according to Oda, you'd be a radio DJ with a bore.
That's true. What was that called in that little color page? I forget.
Yeah, it was a fan request, if I recall, but I forgot what chapter it was on.
Yeah, I don't know what he would call it though. I think
Radio Meat.
Luffy. I was gonna say Luffy on meat, but also not good. There's really no way for this to sound good.
Yeah,
or
it's like into your local MET Radio Meat.
or it would be like King of the Pirates, like radio, like something. He would just be yelling how he's going to be King of the Pirates and how he like. What is this going to be about?
I don't know. Zoro gets lost on the way to the studio. Something like that.
Yeah. And,
Oh yeah, Zoro. I mean, Luffy's totally a shock jock. He's just having people call in and like challenge him if they're going to be.
Luffy
You're
would
not.
just be there pressing the buttons for the sound effects and getting a kick out of it. That's what it is. Zoro
Yeah.
would be asleep in the corner. He wouldn't be doing anything.
Usopp would be the actual like
He would
radio-
be the host.
morning zoo radio guy. That's exactly what he would be.
The secret here is that it would be the unofficial One Piece podcast, but with an S in the middle, so it spells Usopp. I don't know what that S stands for, but yeah.
Well, we all know Robin's morning becomes eclectic.
Robin would do like an NPR
That's NPR.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Is that a California show then? I'm not aware of that one.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Is it Pacifica Radio? Probably. Anyway, you guys want to move on to the next one?
Well, Frankie's a shock jock. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. And Brooke will do old timey radio. That's easy.
Sanji's doing cooking shows.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, next one comes from Dark Leviathan, as I said. I know people still think Pedro is alive because of the Peckham's connection, but I'm sure is to foreshadow Luffy calming a rampaging Sulong Peckhams when they show up in Wano? I don't really understand the question.
Yeah.
Repeat
Can
it.
you repeat that?
I know.
I know people still think Pedro is alive because of the Peckham's connection, but I'm sure is to foreshadow Luffy calming a rampaging Sulong Peckhams when they show up in Wano.
I think I get what he's talking about. He's
Yeah.
assuming that Sulong Peckham's, which we never really got to see the full ramification of, will show up
Yeah.
in Wano, and then Pedro will show up to calm down Peckham's.
But
And
wasn't
Or
he-
people assume Pedro has to be the one who calms Peckham's down because Peckham's mentioned that. He mentioned that
Right.
it's Pedro's voice that
Yeah.
brings him
But
back.
like, where is Peckham's right now? I don't remember where he ends up in this arc.
he was
he got
getting beat up.
down.
Yeah. So like, why would they let him go? Like, why would I don't know why I don't know and I don't
Maybe
know how
they
you
kick
get
him out of
into
the crew. Maybe they kick him out of the crew, and he just winds up there.
I don't think
that's
they
where
let him
Zoe's-
leave. You
But
don't
that's where
leave.
Zoe's
Okay, fine.
going.
Maybe that's just the end
Sure.
of his story, because maybe that's just the end of it.
Yeah, but like that's the thing about like Totoland, you don't get to leave.
Yeah,
So-
that's kind of the whole gimmick.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
Next one comes from Poke Artist, who says, "Do you think that Enru's space adventure will ever come to Earth? Will we see something from this side story?" God, I hope so, more than any other side story.
I mean, come on. They've all kind of come to fruition. A lot of them have come to fruition, and I think there's a reason for all of them.
Even Aces.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was surprised by that last time.
No. We'll definitely see him again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kadatsu's hasn't so much. That's the only one. Next one comes from RS Dream, who says, "What genre of movies and or TV shows do you believe each of the Straw Hats would be into?" Well, Zora would be into like samurai movies, wouldn't he? Basically, like he doesn't have many more interests besides fighting and swords,
Probably
Right.
just a general action movie for Zoro.
I guess. Luffy.
Well, I think Zoro likes the samurai films. I think Luffy likes this, like the really general bombastic action movies with.
Like he likes rogue
Explosions.
heroes. He likes
lasers.
Lethal Weapon or Die Hard. I think Frankie likes something more futuristic, like maybe Pacific Rim or like a kaiju movie. I think he'd be into that. Frankie would be.
Sanji likes cooking shows.
Frankie would also like those shows about like how it's made, or what's the people who forged the swords? They did one for Mihawk.
Oh, Men at Arms.
yeah,
Or like
Zoro
or
and
something like
Frankie
Top
would like
Gear.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be good.
Also,
Um,
Sanji likes rom-coms. No lie.
Oh, definitely. Like
Robin would be watching shows like Lost and Westworld, but only to pick them apart for not making sense.
Yeah, or anything, or just like really whatever the most grim news channel is. I see
She'd
Robin.
watch Vice.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Or she be watching all those fucking dark, like Norwegian murder mystery shows that get adapted on A&E and nobody watches them.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Those are all perfect picks for Robin.
Yeah. Brooke
What
is
about
watching.
Nami?
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, what about Nami?
QVC.
She likes
No.
she likes the Kardashians because she admires the
Yep.
hustle.
No. She's was it? What's the MSNBC money equivalent? Their
CNBC.
economic-
You're right.
Yeah,
she likes
CNBC.
And the
because
Weather
Susie
Channel.
Orman- Susie Orman.
Yeah. Or like the Tornado Chaser kind of shows, which I'm a fan of too. But I feel like any meteorological, money related shows, I think she'd be into. If only you could
Chopper's
combine this.
Animal Planet.
Brooks watching late night VH1 like sub channels, VH1 Soul and whatnot. They still have that? I don't know.
I don't
know.
know. Yeah, it's a good question.
Been a long time
But
since I had.
I just see Brooks sitting around. If he's like exists in this world, he would have one of those really old timey radios. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't even
He's
think
watching
he'd own a
Laurel and
TV.
Hardy.
Yeah, he's listening to Abbott and Costello and all that kind of stuff. Okay, what's next?
Next one comes from Fairquin Root. It says, if each Straw Hat were starting their Pokemon journey, which region would they be from, and what starter from that region would they pick? Oh God, we have the wrong people on for this.
I'm
Okay.
out.
Me and Zach don't know, but the rest of you maybe.
So,
Repeat the question? Sorry.
Sure. If each
I
Straw
heard
Hat were
Pokemon
starting,
and I woke up.
if each Straw Hat were starting their Pokemon journey, which region would they be from, and what starter would they pick?
I mean,
Okay.
Luffy is Chimchar because he's the Monkey King.
Yeah.
I named my Chimchar Luffy.
let's see here. This is something that would require preparation before getting on mic for. I
All
think.
right.
Ask it again next week, and maybe.
You know what? Yeah.
No, seriously, if you,
let me-
if you yeah,
I can think of a few.
Okay.
See, Nami would get like a Litten.
Frankie would have a Totodile.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see here. I'm mostly just like trying to think what their animals are.
Are there any like dark starters? Because like Brooke and Robin are going to be hard to get.
Litten is technically a dark Pokemon.
I could see Robin going the Rowlet route. Her
The owls are
scary dark ghost bird.
Yeah, she would do Rowlet 100%.
It's cute, but it's also grows up into something that is dead.
Yeah. Usopp would have a Cyndaquil. Kind of looks
Would
like
any
him.
of them have like the plant starters?
No,
Actually,
no.
Usopp would. Like, is what I was thinking. Yeah.
Usopp might have a Turtwig, right?
I can see that.
Sounds about right.
Botany, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I zoned out like 10 minutes ago.
All right, let's move on to the next one now. Next one comes from Yin Tab F, who says, "If the warlords are disbanded, what do you think they'll do?"
Run.
Open up a cafe.
Well, I mean, Hancock is just still going to be the Empress of Piratus Island, or I forget what it's called.
Who are the other
Amazon Lily.
I mean,
Right,
who
Amazon
else?
Lily. That's right.
Weevil's doing whatever Weevil's doing. I mean,
That's not going to change. Yeah.
no.
Mihawk, who's going to fuck with him? Like,
I
nobody.
mean, yeah, Mihawk has nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I feel like there could be a full scale attack waged on.
Actually,
Rika
Buggy's the
Island.
interesting. Buggy's the interesting one because I
Buggy
think he
is the
might.
most interesting one.
He would probably link up with Luffy.
I
Like,
finally
based on
become a warlord and they get rid of it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
the most Buggy thing.
That would
Well,
be the
Buggy
most
also
brilliant.
has like sway over a whole crap ton of pirates too, so he's got
Although not the Giants
Not
so
the
much
Giants
anymore.
anymore. Yeah.
he's got numbers on his side. I wonder if that's why. No, that isn't why. Never mind. I forgot they got the government bet at the end of Marineford.
What other warlords are Kuma? I mean,
He's dead.
Yeah, he's
a
basically
robot.
dead. Who cares?
Doflamingo
Moria-
isn't.
Doflamingo's
active anymore.
out. Moria's
Moria?
out. He's out already.
That's really everybody.
I mean, a lot of them have been. Law's out.
Yeah,
That's right.
There's barely any
Any
warlords
left. Any warlords left?
Yeah, they're going to get disbanded pretty soon.
There's
But you know what? There's
5
going to be
left,
some.
I think.
There's going to be some openings in the emperor position. So
And I know people like the word
Talking to you,
Chichibukai. I know people like the word Chichibukai, but if anything, the fifth emperor thing really goes to show that using English pays off with these kind of things, because they could always change the number, and then you're going to be saying something else, and it's not like a set, term. It's not like an organization.
I don't know if you guys called this out before, but didn't the whole fifth emperor thing remind you of when Luffy proclaimed himself to be the 8th warlord?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Like
we did
way
mention
back
that.
when?
Yeah,
That was like my first tweet on that release.
he got his
Right.
wish, but just with a different organization. What's next?
This one comes from Arch Cools, who says, "I want everyone on the podcast quick opinion on Lao G, just because."
He's
Alex?
great. I love him.
Yeah,
I wish his POP figure came out.
he's a very cool character who's also a gag character, and he lightened up parts of Dressrosa that were difficult.
With the G. He did it with the G.
Right.
I enjoyed him during Dressrosa, but currently I don't care. Yeah, that's how I
That
would
dying
put it.
gag was really good.
Yeah,
He was
Yes.
one of the best
Yes.
ones of the Doflamingo
He
family.
definitely, I could
Not
say
the
that.
best one.
Yeah, not the best, but on the upper echelon there.
I think he's number one for me.
More than Dellinger? I guess
Yeah,
that's Steve's
I
favorite.
don't really like Dellinger.
More than Mr. Anime?
He's
see
not-
His name is Gladius.
the fact that you call him that tells me that that he's not even.
I like Lao G, but Pika's number one in my book.
I do like Pika a lot. Yeah.
Pika's fine.
I like Pika mostly because of his voice. I think the anime actually made Pika, gave him a little bit of fun there. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
I
next.
enjoyed them all around.
Yeah.
All right, next one comes from Nura G123, who says, "I miss having a standalone adventure arc like Skypiea and Thriller Bark, where it's just fun and mystery. Do you think with all the stuff going on right with the plot, we will be able to have an adventurous detour island?" Hope Elbaf will be that fun detour. And I don't know if you're going to get that this late in the series.
Is it kind of weird that that's kind of what Whole Cake Island was? It was a detour. It was a fun adventure mystery. I kind of think it was.
These are my feelings.
Yeah, I kind of think it's the close. I mean, the thing is, we're in the new world, so everything's super interconnected and important now. But if Oda were going to do a mystery adventure, Whole Cake Island seems like it was it.
Yeah, I mean, Elbaf is so tied into the Giants and the government and Big Mom that it can't really be
It might
side.
be. I think they're all going to be like that. I think Oda does a good job most of the time, kind of making each arc somewhat independent. Wano's definitely going to be independent. It's going to be an isolationist country, I assume, much like Japan was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think Wano's going to have like large ramifications. It's already kind of being built up as like the prelude to war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, next one comes from,
and they're going to break that isolationism.
Oh man,
Yeah.
who gets to dress up like Commodore Perry?
I hope there's a Commodore Perry character.
Everyone go watch the Commodore Perry episode of Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei.
There's also a Commodore Perry episode of Samurai Champloo, I believe. Yeah. Or
Guys,
is it something like
Also
that?
very good.
What about Commodore Walter?
What?
So that was a home movies joke.
What about the Commodore 64?
It's really neato. Anyway,
Yeah.
next one comes from Awesome Randy 2. It's Miranda Williams. He says, "Hey, PP, today is my birthday. Happy birthday."
Happy birthday.
How long do you think the Reverie arc will be chapter-wise? She guesses 25 chapters.
Are we playing this game now? Is this happening now?
I think she's trying to host the podcast.
All right, we could do it. Let's get it started.
We have to determine an actual. Actually, with the people traveling there, it could have started like 2 chapters ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm assuming we're 2 chapters in. So what are we up to? 904. How long will the Reverie arc last?
So she thinks it'll end at chapter 927.
Well, she's not on the podcast, so I'll make a thread for this. A post for this on our website in the next week or two. But let's start taking bets here. Ed, when you are my first co-host, you get first dibs. We're up to 904. When do you think, assuming it does become a full-fledged arc, when do you think it's going to end?
Oh, boy. 920.
Remember, we play Price is Right rules, closest without going over. Alex.
Ed was going to take mine, so I'll say 919.
Oh, that is a terrible...
Actually, I don't really know if I want to win. So,
Alex, you left yourself 1 chapter.
What are you talking about?
It's the closest without going over. So you only have 919 to 920. Or you have 919.
This backwards, Alex.
Do you want to redo that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do 918.
You want to redo your gaming of the system?
Wait, you're moving. Okay, 918.
Another 2 chapters where you can win.
Sam.
915.
Brian.
912.
Guys are also screwed when this goes for like 5 volumes.
Yeah. Now the question is, do I want to try and be realistic, or do I really not want to win? Because last time I was unrealistic, I won. I'm gonna say 910. Okay, and we'll get everyone else as they come on the show. Or if they're not on the show anytime soon, I'll try and get those numbers. So we'll do more of that in the coming weeks. What's next, Ed?
Next one comes from Purple Aladdin, who says, "Big Mom ate Mother Carmel and got her devil fruit ability. So did Blackbeard may the same? Maybe he ate some body part of Whitebeard."
Oh God.
I mean, he's creepy enough already. Do we have to imagine him like gnawing on?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say his heart.
Well, we saw where his heart was.
Well, there's a big hole there, so.
Oh, good point.
That's true.
Oh God.
He went through. He went through
even-
there and he grabbed up into it and then just
Oh.
yeah.
It's like that scene from the Venture Brothers episode of Escape from the Tomb of the Mummies, where he's reaching into the thing and trying to turn the spike walls off, and
Or-
he's digging inside of Whitebeard's chest for his heart.
Yeah, or in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where that actually happens also,
Right, but
where the joke comes from.
I mean, no, but he's already.
Ed,
But
I'm
that
sorry,
was the-
Alex
that was
just
the guy's
owned
lie.
you, and that seems to be the end of that.
I
What's the next
did. I
question?
did own you.
No, but guy is alive when it's happening in Temple of Doom, so Whitebeard was already dead.
Guys, this nerd off is
Yeah.
now over. What's next, Ed?
Next one comes from someone. I don't know.
No, are you that upset about Alex?
I'm trying to find a question that isn't a repeat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought I made you salty.
That's what I thought happened too.
I'm
Am I-
trying to find a question that isn't a repeat or someone who's already asked a question.
Gotcha. I know, Ed. You have much thicker skin than that.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, wow, Ed got really offended.
Here's one. Illusion Nomi asks, is Karasu based on Marty Skrull? No, they just both wear Plague Doctor masks. That's that's it. Zoe Rabbit asks, my theory for One Piece is that Pudding joins the Revolutionary Army if she can't take Big Mom's evilness anymore and lives on Kamabaka Queendom and tells the Okamas of her life in Big Mom's kingdom, and obviously gets more personal development within her. Okay.
Well, if that was the case, she'd also be like the potential bride to Sanji Boy, there who everyone in Kamapaka Queendom's a big fan of.
That's true. I mean, although I wonder if that would make them fans of her or like not like her. You know?
Oh.
I bet they'd find some common ground.
Probably, yeah. They both. Everyone, if you love Sanji, you're my friend. You know, kind of thing. Next one comes from Football Para Todos, who says, I heard a rumor Star Fox might get a racing game. Let's round together a crowd to get a One Piece racing game.
I
What would it
think
be like?
someone made that up.
Oh, well, I don't really care about Star Fox, but a One Piece racing game would be cool.
Blasphemy.
I don't know. I always enjoyed playing Mario Kart, but I am a noted non-video game player. so-
Same here. Can't they just do the One Piece Gold race? I mean, like that kind of thing. Yeah,
That'd be fun.
that would be tons of fun. You land on a golf course and you see
Turtle Power, right?
Yeah,
That's right. Turtle power. You get to see a little tiny baby young Adam tree on the golf
That's right.
course, according to Greg's recent tweets.
And finally, coming from Johnny24, who says, "Why does Big Mom have male homies? Zeus,
Why?
Prometheus, Napoleon. They're all given male names."
That is interesting. I thought it was like the setup to a joke. I don't know. Why does she have male homies?
I don't know. It's a good question. There's no real reason for it.
Souls
Although-
don't have genders, maybe.
But like that door who was guarding the tea party, that was a female homie.
Yeah.
But all the important ones, are generally, I guess, male designated,
Maybe it's-
kind of.
Well,
Dependent on the object.
Well,
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Most of them,
because,
it's
like-
hard to tell. They're
And we
so
know-
like.
I guess there's lady trees and male trees.
That's right.
Yeah, but specifically, the Prometheus and Zeus come from her soul, so it would probably have to be about the object itself.
Maybe it's like maybe she can just choose that, you know, when she makes them. There's a lot left unexplained by about Big Mom's power.
yeah. It's a good question. Anyway, I'm sure we'll never learn the answer to that. Well, SBS. I mean, maybe. So that's gonna do it for Piece the Tweet, correct, Ed?
That's it.
So let's do a little bit of trivia and round off.
Ooh, trivia.
This has been episode 520 for May 21st, 2018. I know it's a little short this week, you guys, but we really, on short notice, this is what we got. Next week, I have confirmed with Steven, we will have a chapter as far as we all know. So we'll be back with chapter 905 next week. We got some trivia coming up. I do want to mention, on a personal note, I will be gone in June from both social media and from the podcast, but good co-hosts here, and Steve as well, Ed and Alex, will be, taking the helm during that month, which I very much appreciate. and I'm sure every chapter will be a huge bombshell that I'm missing.
I mean, very bad timing, Zach.
That's just, I planned that way ahead of time. I knew it was going to be right in the Reverie. I'm like, yes.
Did you plan your wedding for a year ago?
Well, then it would have coincided with the wedding at Whole Cake Island, and
but then we would have gotten it faster. I'm saying you control this, so why didn't you do anything about it?
Well, it's true I did predict the chapter the Reverie arc would begin, so I should have known, So this is all my fault, really. I want to thank Steve, Ed, Alex, the whole crew on the website, Kelly and Adil, and everyone else whose names are not popping into my head at this moment. And Sam and Brian, thank you for being on the show today. Where could the good people contact you guys, Brian?
You can find me on Twitter as Dark King Zoro, all one word. And you can also look at my artwork on DeviantArt and check out Rick and Morty Teen Titans Go. And if you're a young one, there's a show on Amazon called Little Big Awesome. I believe that's premiered. But check it out if you like cartoons.
And yes, Brian will be on Rick and Morty, I assume, forever, hopefully.
And I also forgot to mention the Animation Success Stories podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Which we talked to other industry professionals about how they got in and any other juicy details we want to talk to them about. You can find those on YouTube and ASS Podcast on Twitter.
I get it. And I've also made that joke before. Sam, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Lucky Chainsaw. They can find me on the One Piece podcast every week doing the anime recaps. And they can find me on AnimeNewsNetwork.com doing the daily streaming reviews for One Piece, My Hero Academia, and Black Clover.
Alex, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at dude exclamation, all one word, where you can see my musings about various things, mostly One Piece, but other things as well. You can hear me on Toho Yaro, the monthly Japanese movie club podcast, along with Joey Weiser and Scott Dryman. This past month, our episode was about Daimajin, a Jitageki kaiju film, and next month will be Kikujiro by the Great Beat Takeshi. So if you want to listen in on that episode, get prepped, watch the movie beforehand. It's fun. And you can also catch me and Ed up on an upcoming episode of Conversation Genesis Evangelion. In order to listen to that, subscribe to Cartoons 101 Patreon.
And he announced the next series of Patreon podcasts that he's going to do after Evangelion, and it's the works of Satoshi Kon. So I'm angling to get on at least one of those because I enjoy pretty much everything he's done.
Ed, where can people find you?
I'm Edward E. One Piece on Twitter. You're Zach_Logan on Twitter as well. Podcasts can be found at OnePiecePodcast.com, Twitter.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast, Patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. Please support us there. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. One Piece Podcast is our Skype name. We have a subreddit, our One Piece Podcast. Leave us some piece together there. You can subscribe on SoundCloud, subscribe on Google Play, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, or no, it's not iTunes, it's Apple Podcasts. I haven't gotten that wrong in a while. Or call us on our phone number, Zach.
That phone number is 347-497-MAJI.
Maji.
That number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime. With your questions, comments, theories, or your flashy backies. Flashbackies? Whatever they may be. Quick quiz this week. We were introduced to some new revolutionaries last week. Too much discussion. So this week I figure let's see how much you guys know about the revolutionaries. I'm going to, for those who don't know how our quizzes work, this is our typical quiz. So you're just going to name a character in the category. Once you repeat or can't think of one, you're out. That's simple. You got it? All good?
No, can you try that again? I'm sorry.
No, I'm not doing that again. It's the normal rules.
Okay, it's the regular game.
Regular game. So we're gonna go Ed, Alex, Sam, and Brian. That's gonna be our order. Okay. So named members of the Revolutionary, past or present.
Oh boy, this is gonna go fast.
There's not very many.
I was thinking over in my head, but there's a few more than I thought there were.
Ed.
Oh, Monkey D. Dragon.
Alex.
Emporio Ivankov.
Sam.
Kuma. Bartholomew.
Comma. It's comma.
Yeah,
Bartholomew.
Kuma, comma,
I don't know if
Bartholomew.
I could give that to you. Brian.
Why did I blank on that person's name? Koala.
How could you blank on that? Sam.
No, I was thinking somebody else.
Watch out for Sam. Ed.
Sabo.
Alex.
Hack.
Oh.
That's who I was thinking.
Jinpei's best friend. Sam.
Bello Betty.
Now we're in the new ones. Brian.
Lindbergh.
Not the baby, the person. Sorry, I'm going to make that joke every time. Ed.
Karasu.
Alex.
Morley.
Okay, here we go. Sam.
There's more?
There's 3 more.
I bet that one guy who knows Robin had a name. I don't know it though.
Okay. Brian.
Robin.
Guys, are we taking that? Do we...
That's pretty gray.
Yeah,
Very gray.
I don't know.
Brian, I'm going to do you a favor. I'll give you another shot.
Dude with a mouse hat.
I mean, technically correct, but I said named members. So, Brian, that's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. So Ed and Alex are still in. Ed.
Inazuma.
There you go. Alex, there's 2 more, and they were both named in One Piece Deep Blue. Characters Deep Blue.
Oh my god.
Jesus. May as
Son
well
of a bitch.
may as well be nameless.
May as
Yeah,
well.
for serious. God,
Or there is one that's not canon.
oh god.
Oh, come on.
You mean Max Rays or Rays
Yeah,
Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rays Max I think should count.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like 100% should count. Like
Okay, so can either of you name the 2 remaining characters that were named in Blue Deep? Not just Blue Deep.
yeah,
No, I can't. I don't know.
They have amazing names.
I bet one of them is named Roosevelt.
Okay. I wish. I'm trying to think of another
Like a
thing.
tiebreaker?
Yeah, like a tiebreaker question. Okay.
Well,
how about
well, let us know the names though, because I'm
okay?
I'm
if
awaiting
you
very
could
good breath.
name what is on their hat as I name them, you will get the point. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
First guy who has the less funny name, Terry Gilteo. Ed.
No, what?
Giraffe.
Is
No,
that-
I know this one.
Wait, what is that on his head? I'm trying to figure that
Is
out.
it,
I thought
is
there
it
was
the
a guy
giraffe
with a
guy?
giraffe. There's a guy with a giraffe on his head.
Oh no, I know. It says what it is on One Piece Wiki. What appears to be a blank hat. So Alex, what do you think
A
is on?
Devo hat.
Brian or Sam? Brian?
It's like a bear, right?
No. That's already
Is it
taken
like
by Kuma.
It's like giant goggles, right? It's like a
Sam, do you have a guess?
Nope.
Kangaroo was the answer.
what? How do you even know it's a kangaroo until you see the rest of the body? That's bullshit.
I would have said a camel. I think it looks more like a camel. The last person.
The jackal. Jackal.
The last
Jackal.
person has a hat without any sort of animal on it. That's your hint.
I should
But his
remember that name.
But
It sounds
his
like Terry
name-
Gilliam.
his name is my favorite name in maybe all of One Piece. His name is Bunny Joe.
Oh God, those names are great. You're right.
It's not a bunny, is it?
No. So Ed, do you want to guess first? What's on his hat? What is on his hat? Or if you could name who the character is in any way. He is he spoke. He is somewhat important, I guess, revolutionary. That
I
we've
think
seen.
I know who it is.
Oh,
Alex,
I
you wanna go
don't
for it?
know. I don't know.
He has
Alex.
he's got like curly ass hair, right?
He does. You want to go on?
And big goggles.
No, he's one of the.
They're
Oh.
not goggles. They're like
Oh,
it's like a
okay.
visor.
No,
I looked
no
at him. I don't
visor.
think he's gonna get this.
What's on his hat? He has a what in his cap?
Oh, a bee in his bonnet.
Okay, never mind.
A feather.
Feather.
It's a feather. He's
There
a
you
feather
go.
capped guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the feather cap guy that everybody thought that he was like another character. Or
I'm going to give you
for all.
each half a donut and call it a day. Thank you guys for coming on the show. That was a fun one. We'll be back next week with our Chapter 905 recap. We also have an anime recap next week and our 9th anniversary. We've been doing this for 9 years, guys, since 2009, if you could believe it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worth every day.
Worth every week. So we will see you on Monday with special guest, this time for real, Miles Thomas. I'm the one who pushed him back this time. I assumed he wanted to be on for a chapter as well. So we'll see Miles from Crunchyroll next week. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Alex.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
The Adventures of Bunny Joe is brought to you by our sponsors. Burlap Pants. If you're having trouble running, get some burlap pants. They'll not only make it easier to run, but you get a lot of circulation and you're going to sweat out the bad juju. We're also brought to you by pennies. That's right, pennies. Get 100 of them, it equals $1, and you know what? They taste good too. If they can clean if they can clean a glass of Coke, then they can clean your colon too. Even if it's the other way around, I don't even care. Give me my money now. I said the thing. I said, give me it. That's my bag of money. No, you promised me a bag of money. What are you doing to this? I'm an old man. I deserve this. Do you know what I put up through? You know what I put up with my grandkids and my horrible wife who smells like a giant Huh? Yeah, that's what happens to old people. You don't know that. When people get old, that's what they start smelling like. They smell like a big fat wet You gonna give me that money now? You're not? Well, you too.